He believes his mask is impenetrable. He believes the iron he forged around his secrets is unbreakable. But tonight, we strike the foundation. Welcome to the crisis test. This is the 16-minute forensic audit of the unfaithful male psyche. This is not a conversation, it is a reckoning. Every lie told is a debt to the truth, and tonight the debt is called. For the next 16 minutes, we are going to strip away the vanity, the justifications, and the silence. We are going to look at the wiring of a man who has lost his way. This is not for him, this is for the truth. Every lie is an anchor, and it's time to see how deep it has dragged the soul. We begin with the anatomy of the first fracture. This is a journey through the 3 levels of mental toughness and why he failed the first. Discipline is freedom, but he has traded it for the cold, dark weight of a double life. Witness the biological signature of guilt. Witness the collapse of the mask. We are starting at the very beginning of the end. Welcome to the audit. Phase 1. The shield. The unfaithful man is a blacksmith of shadows. He spends his energy forging a version of reality that looks solid but is brittle under heat. He builds a world of walls thinking they protect him, but they only serve to isolate him from his own character. Look at the data nodes. The sudden frantic guarding of the digital life. The unhurried but precise shift in his daily rhythm. This isn't just secrecy, it's a structural deviation. He isn't hiding a secret. He's hiding a fracture in his identity. This is the behavioral deviance of a man living in the shadows, believing he is unobserved. But the biology of guilt leaves a signature that no shield can block. We analyze the micro-shifts, the way he avoids the direct gaze when certain names are mentioned, the way his posture shifts from presence to a defensive shell when the silence becomes too heavy. Every decision is calculated. Every move is a piece of the shield. He is refining his lie day by day, breath by breath. But under the clinical light of this audit, the metal begins to warp. He thinks he is forging strength, but he is only forging a prison. In the forge of deception, the heat is constant, and eventually, the shield always cracks. We are tracking the point where the lie becomes the primary identity. This is stage 1, the long game of the shadow. He believes he has time, but the audit has already begun. The metadata of his life is speaking louder than his words ever could. We see the patterns of avoidance, the calculated distance, the sudden bursts of overcompensation. It is a clinical profile of a man in flight from himself. And as we descend deeper, the shield will offer no protection against the weight of what is coming next. This is the first level of the crisis. This is where the mask begins to melt. Phase 2. The linguistic audit. Every unfaithful man follows the script. Rehearsed explanations that sound a little too clinical, a little too perfect. He has practiced the answers in the dark, refining the tone, the pause, the convincing sigh. He turns the spotlight back on you to hide the shadows in his own eyes. This is the counterattack. The deviant response. He makes you the villain so he can remain the hero of his own lie. Watch the pattern: denial, deflection, and discredit. He attacks your sanity to protect his secret. This is gaslighting in its most forensic form. He uses language as a smokescreen, a dense fog of maybe, not now, and you're imagining things. But words have weight. We track the inconsistencies, the linguistic fractures where his story doesn't match the data nodes. He is reading from a file he's been studying, but he's forgotten that the auditor has the original copy. Stoic truth defines mental toughness as the engine and motivation as a spark. For the unfaithful man, the engine is failing. He has lost his virtue. Virtue is his excellence through voluntary hardship, but he chose the easy path, the path of least resistance and maximum deception. He believes he is strong because he carries a secret, but he is actually dragging a stone boulder through his own life. The pre-dawn wakefulness of an honest man has been replaced by the midnight anxiety of a ghost. He is haunting his own home, moving through the rooms like a stranger in a life he no longer owns. He views discipline as a restriction, so he breaks it to feel free. But true freedom is found in the light of the truth. By abandoning his virtue, he has entered a state of psychological bankruptcy. His character is no longer an engine, it is a weight that is slowly crushing his narrative. If you value truth over comfort, you belong here. This is the audit of the modern soul. Subscribe now to join the circle of those who refuse to be blind. We are pushing the structure to the point of no return. We are looking for the collapse of the script. This is the middle of the storm and the anchor is starting to slip. There is no more room for excuses. There is only the audit, and the audit is relentless. Now we move into the final phase, the phase where the silence finally breaks. Phase 3, the collapse. In the obsidian mirror, he finally sees the truth he can no longer hide. The collapse is not a single event. It is the inevitable failure of a brittle foundation. He has spent years building a tower on sand, and now the tide is coming in. He can no longer hide behind the version of himself he sold you. The mask doesn't just slip, it shatters like marble under an iron hammer. This is the point of no return. The identity fracture is complete. He has failed the audit of his own character. We see the biological signature of a man who chose the shadow over the light. The psychological ink blots reveal the deep-seated guilt he tries to suppress with anger and more lies. But the weight of the stone anchor is too much. The gates are grinding shut. The interrogation is over. The verdict is clinical. The verdict is final. He is a master of nothing but his own destruction. He has traded his soul for a shadow, and now the shadow is all that remains. He stands in the wreckage of his own integrity, wondering where the strength went. But strength is not built on secrets, it is built on the voluntary hardship of the truth. He chose the lie, and now he must live with the silence it created. The truth is heavy, but it is the only thing that can set you free. The audit is complete. The evidence is irrefutable. We have traced the timeline from the first micro-shift to the final collapse. There are no more scripts to read. There are no more shields to forge. There is only the cold, hard reality of a failed character. He is no longer the hero. He is just a subject in a case file that is about to be closed. The mask is gone. The wiring is exposed. And what we see is a man who was too weak to be honest. The collapse is total. The reckoning is here. Now look at what remains. Look at the ash, because from this ash, a different story must begin. But it won't be his story. It will be yours. But this audit is not for him. It's for you. To reclaim your narrative. To stop the gaslighting once and for all. You have seen the evidence. You have held the stone anchor in your own hands. Now, you must decide your identity. We offer you the tools for reconstruction. The 7-day reset audit is your map out of the fog. It is the voluntary hardship that leads to freedom. Mental toughness is not about surviving the storm. It's about being the mountain that the storm cannot move. Let the old narrative burn to ash. Let the lies he told you become the fuel for your own awakening. Something stronger is forging in the heat of this crisis. Let the collapse be your beginning. You are no longer a victim of his script. You are the architect of your own truth. This is the refinement. This is the forge of the modern woman. You are the mountain. You are the light. Reclaim your soul. The reconstruction starts now. The crisis test is over. The results are etched in stone. Case closed. Subscribe to the TruTalkX Masterclass for the next level of psychological intelligence. Follow for the blueprint of growth. The truth is cold, but it is clear. Your reconstruction starts now. That's grown love. See you in the next episode. Case closed.